Hello, good evening, and welcome to round number 41 of Fragmaster's Fox Friday in Live for Speed. Tonight we are round number 41 at Fern Bay Gold, and it is a sunny day here, and we are looking forward to some racing. I'm Peter Butcher, you're watching Sim Broadcasts, and Michael Málek joins me in the commentary box tonight. Michael, how are you doing?
Good evening, everyone. I'm doing well. I'm looking forward for another exciting Fragmaster Fox Friday racing.
Yeah, well, let's talk a quick bit about what's going on this evening. We are at Fern Bay Gold, which is 3.5 kilometers, 2.2 miles, and we're going to have two 26-lap races this evening rather than the usual one for Fox Friday. And I think that's going to be a theme, Michael, for the broadcasted races. I think we're going to have two races in the evening, the second with a reverse top 15, which always makes for exciting stuff. Here is the Fox, the Formula XR, 2 litre inline 4 mid-engine, rear-wheel drive, just under half a ton, and just under 200 brake horsepower. And yeah, we're at round number 41 of the championship. We're broadcasting 2 more rounds after today, with a potential another one at the end of the year, just to cap off the year in sweet style. We'll talk about the championship standings after qualifying. Let's go to the track. So, Michael, we've already had a number of cars already setting times. We have had 11 cars across the line, including quite a number of Fragmaster's cars, as you can see from the timing tower. But we're going to pick up at the sharp end of qualifying and see how many of the field can challenge Fnatic, who currently set the pace with a 1:14.21, which is a pretty nippy time around here. Michael?
Exactly. Fnatic set a very strong time here, and I'm wondering if anyone will be able to beat it.
Yeah, I wonder that too. I am waiting to see if anybody looks like they're going to be getting anywhere near it.
So far it's still Fnatic leading the table with 1 minute 14.21, as we are about to watch Happy D, who will start his lap. There we go. I'm sorry, that was actually finishing his lap, and it was P8, 1 minute 14.83. And the next car to cross the lap, I believe, is Master Race Cars Zesty. who's just completed the second split of this track and is about to complete final turns. As we are watching Lala Rooks, who is, I believe, on his outlaps. Yeah, it's still outlap, so if the camera stays on him, we can watch full lap here on the Fern by Gold layout. Let's see how it goes for him. He's crossing the start-finish line and going full send into the first hard-braking area, first overtaking opportunity. Has a good line and towards the quick left-right chicane. He touches the tire wall a little, but it doesn't upset his car much, and he's going into the very fast right, left, right section. And now he's about to get into the old train bridge and towards another hard braking area, followed by 90 degrees left-hander. Let's see how his brakes work here. He's going somewhat tight through the turn, but stays on the grey stuff, and now into the double left-hander, which is somewhat one smooth turn, but it comes to the racing line. Under the bridge, little braking into the right-hander, and then the final section of sweeping left corner, and I would call it a left-right chicane with very high curbs that upset the car. That's one of the opportunities to mess them up, but he seems to be doing very well, and let's see where he finishes his lap. And it's P11, 76 hundredths of a second behind the current leader, which, for a change, is now world-class Lion.
It's Yannick Attila.
Yannick Attila, my apologies. Yeah, so he's now leading, beating Fnatic by 1/10 of a second. And let's see if Bautizzi from Road to Preza does. In fact, he doesn't beat them, and so far he's in P8 with 53 hundredths of a second behind the leader.
TJ's just started a lap, and it looks like Lucas is just finishing one, coming across the line now. He goes P12, so yeah, it's currently Bortz who's the highest of the Road to Preza runners currently. Rick 98 will be next. He's coming under the flyover. Under the bridge he comes now, and we will see what he can manage on his one and only flying lap, because of course in Fox Friday you only get one shot at qualifying, Michael. It's all or nothing on that one lap.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. There's a lot of room to make a mistake, but looks like Rick 98 didn't do many mistakes and completed his lap in provisional 6th place. Meanwhile, we are watching Ayub Marok from the Born to Race team on his lap.
TJ coming to finish his. There he goes. Only P7 for 3x Fox champ. Firestarter will be the next. We've got a lot of drivers who are sending it into the grass at the end of the straight. There we are. So coming up to the line is Firestarter, and he will be P21 only. So it looks like some of the drivers really are struggling to get the lap kind of sorted out. Obviously no such problems for Yannick Attila and Fnatic and Roger Chen currently occupying the top 3 slots, but let's see what Abe can manage for Born to Race. Coming through the final couple of corners now to round off his lap. And we've got Gabor, Unite, Isaac Price on track as well. So some big names about to come and finish their qualifying laps. So P22 only for Abe there. And now here we go, Isaac Price. Surely a little bit rusty in LFS at the moment. Michael, he's not been around for a while, but I know he can pick it up like it was yesterday.
Yeah, I haven't seen him for a while, but it's true that he doesn't need much practice to prove himself, and I believe this lap will be very strong. Let's wait a few seconds to see where he slots in the timing table, and it's P3, just 1/10 of a second behind the leader, so beautiful lap from him.
Yeah, amazing. Same lap time as Fnatic, as it happens. Kirku is sliding his way towards the end of the lap in a somewhat damaged car, Michael. He's been in a wall somewhere on his lap, so that's not ideal. So yeah, a little bit of an unceremonious end to his qualifying lap, but here he comes. Once Kirku finishes, we'll be panning the camera over to Gabor, which will be interesting. 26th for Kirku, and here comes the man himself. It's Gabor beside us, and we'll see where he rounds his lap, sorry. And then it's Unite next. So, oh, sorry, that is Unite. My mistake. Gabor has finished his lap, and that was P5, Michael. Unite will be next to finish, and we will keep the cameras trained on him. And what's he going to get? Is he going to be able to get anywhere near Gabor's time? He does not. P9. Next we have Turbo Blaster. Nice livery, that Citroen. Not that Citroen ever made a single seater. Correct me if I'm wrong. Did Citroen ever make a single seater? I want to say no.
I am not aware of any such product, so I'm probably on the same train as you.
Across the line, in P26th, then we've got Pantheo for the Fragmasters team, running the decidedly, well, it's a slightly different variation on the standard Fragmasters livery, but pleasant looking nonetheless. Into the final set of corners, we're going to see this as a pretty challenging part of the lap as we get into the racing action this evening. The final sector is really challenging in the Fox, especially when you're trying to follow other cars, and over the final set of curbs goes Pantheo, absolutely smashing the curbs there. Across the line in P28 for Pantheo, and it's Adal who is only just going over the bridge. Doctor is the car just behind him, also on a flying lap, so these two are going to come across the line quite close together. And this is nice doing the qualifying session because we get a little bit of a feel for who is on the grid. We see a few corners of the track and we see the drivers going flat out, probably the fastest laps they're going to set this evening at the end of their qualifying laps. So here is Adal, just coming around the final couple of corners now, and we'll see how hard he hits the curbs. Not too bad on the first one, avoiding the second one completely, and out onto the runoff. Across the line he will come to finish P26. Where will Doctor come? P21. So drivers at the end of the qualifying session there, Michael, struggling to get into the top 20.
Yeah, looks like the strongest names are on the top of the connection list, and this is actually the end of the qualifying, I believe. Does it look like?
I don't know if there's anybody else out on the track, but there may be someone sent out fairly late, but we will get confirmation of that. No, drivers are leaving the pit garages, which means race control must be happy that everybody has set a lap. So we will have a short pause before we get going for the race, at which point we can bring you up to speed with the championship standings, which is always a fun and entertaining thing to do. All right then, let's take a look at those qualifying results and see that on pole it is Yoni Katilla going under the pseudonym of True Alpha for World Class Lines. Alongside him it will be Fnatic. Isaac Price will line up alongside Roger Chen on row 2, with Gabor and Zesty on row 3. Rex and Rick98 will be on row 4, and then Unite and TJ, old friends, will be on row 5. Then it's Strutter, Rodolfo, Bortz, Josep, Boniface, Christian, Lucas, Happy D, Lallaroo and Magrio, your top 20. And then on the second page of results from P21 downwards, we will have Dr. Ferroda Praiser, Johnny SVK backwards, Jay Martins, Finn UK, Firestarter, Ayub, Adal, Turbo Blaster, Rocket and Pantheo, your top 30. We should take a look at the championship standings now before we get going for the race. So let's have a look at those results. In the team's championship, it is the Fragmasters team, of course, leading the way with 1,818 points, 1818, ahead of Rhoda Praiser, just over 200 points separating those two teams. Then it's Sidus in P3, Master Race Car, FM2, Good Drivers, Race Green, Fragmasters 3, World Class Lines at Iron, the top 10. And this is quite a story, isn't it, Michael? Because Fragmasters do have quite a lot of drivers in this championship and quite a lot of teams, but they're managing to lead with their lead duo.
Yeah, they clearly put the strongest drivers into the number one team, and it shows. They lead more than 200 points over the Road to Preza primary team, so I think they're clearly going to win the team's championship this year.
Yeah, well, there's still quite a lot of rounds to go towards the end of the year. We have 8 minutes before the start of the race, so we will do the Drivers' Championship standings, and then we'll go for a bit of a pause before the excitement of the race. We'll have 2 races this evening, as I mentioned in the build-up, but here are the Driver Championship standings, and you can see that it's not a Fragmaster driver leading the way. It is a Road to Preza driver. It's TJ leading the way ahead of Gabor for Sidus, Fragmaster's Fatal in P3, Roger Chen, Zesty, Onifus, Rex, Al Payson, Happy D, and Iron Donny the top 10, with RD2, Finn UK, Christian, Yoni Katilla, with a different pseudonym in our Drivers' Championship standings, ahead of Dr. Koivunen, Number, Kirku, Strutter, and Rodolfo. And I think we have 6 pages of results that we will let slide by, and you can find yourself or the people you know who have have scored at least 1 point in the Fragmasters Fox Friday season so far this year. Michael, it's great to see so many drivers.
Yeah, it is a very well attended league that Fragmaster holds every Friday, and I think this is one of the longest running leagues in LFS, if I'm not mistaken.
It is the longest running season in the For Speed series.
Yes, so you can see how I would say traditional this Friday event is, and drivers still seem to love it after all those years.
Yeah, indeed. We do have a large number of results, and we're going to see all the drivers out in a bit. But we are going to take a very, very short break, and we'll be back for round number 41 of Fragmasters Fox Friday, the 2 races that are coming your way, 2 26-lap races in just a few moments' time. Don't go anywhere. Just 60 seconds to go until the start of round number 41 of Fragmaster's Fox Friday in Live for Speed. Tonight we're at Fern Bay Gold. We've just had qualifying, and it was the world-class Lies driver of Yoni Katilla who snatched pole position away from the rest of the field. We've got Isaac Price, we've got Gabor, we've got a whole bunch of names you're going to recognise tonight, so it should be a good one to watch. And here is what you're going to be watching: 2 races this evening, so don't pack up your bags after race number 1. Stick around and watch a reverse grid second race, which promises to be a bit of a thrill, Michael, as it always is.
Yeah, it's always a thrill to have a top 15 reversed, and I think tonight will be no different.
Yeah, absolutely, and I can't wait. So let's see, we have to get through race number 1 first, which is just 20 seconds away, and we are going to have a whole bunch of cars. We're going to have almost a full grid, which is excellent to see as the nights start to draw in and we enter into the winter months of the year. And it's Yoni Katilla who snatched pole. Fnatic will be on the front row alongside him. Then it's Isaac, Roger Chen, Gabor, Zesty, Rex, Rick, Unite and TJ. Let's go to the grid. So here we have 31 cars. What a magnificent looking grid. The drivers are very, very eager to get going. They're already burning fuel on the start-finish line. Michael, take us away for the start.
Yeah, we are just about to start the race 1 of the round 41 of Fragmaster Fox Friday. We go green, and it's a good start for everyone. Yoni Katilla seems to get away pretty well, but Isaac Price seems to break underneath Fnatic, but decides to slow behind. There are cars side by side behind them. But there are out of the chicane where you should be single file. Let's see if anyone stays safe. It seems so. Happy D is now in P18. Fnatic still in second place, chasing down Yoni Katilla as we are entering the old railway bridge. Turbo Blaster is now fighting with some Fragmaster member, which should be number, I believe. Yes, it is. Number in P29, now 28, and it looks like a few Rocket is in the battle as well. Meanwhile, there's some collision in the right-hander.
Yeah, I know it's not Abe, sorry. It's Lallaroo who's been off at the back, Michael.
Yeah, not a very good start of the race for him, but as we said before, tonight we have 2 races, so it's not all over for him, even in this particular race.
Yeah, exactly, and we're riding on board with Gabor as he finishes lap number 1. No change, really, up and down the field. This track only has 2 real overtaking opportunities unless you're feeling brave. One of them is here. Gabor got the slipstream on Roger Chen and has the position sealed into turn number 1. We've got a few cars going into the pit lane. Side-by-side action across start-finish, but it's Yoni Katilla who leads the way after 1 lap, followed by Fnatic, Isaac Price, Gabor and Roger Chen, the top 5, who are beginning to stretch a gap to Zesty for Master Race Car. We have a gaggle around. Who've we got a gaggle around? We've got in the mid-pack around Unite. We've got quite a few cars, and Unite's at the back of a bit of a pack here, Michael, and we'll want to cut through them as quickly as possible.
Yeah. Unite is now losing his time in P10 behind some slower cars, although the car ahead is TJ, which I believe is not one of the slower cars. So these 2 will be trying to get forward rather quickly. They will have to wait because they are now in the twisty section where overtaking is not very possible unless the driver ahead makes the mistake. So they are now obviously going single file, and let's see who takes the advantage of the draft onto the main start-finish straight. Isaac Price seems to be a little bit too far away from Fnatic to capitalize, but there are 2 cars side by side, and it's TJ battling with Rick 98.
Yeah, his teammate.
Yeah, and he's made the move stick, while Unite is watching from behind and looking for any opportunity to surpass Rick 98 as well.
Yeah, nice move there from TJ and his teammate. His teammate won't have made it too difficult for him, but he'll make it much more difficult for Unite when it's time for him to get through. Fastest lap on the last time around for Isaac Price, who will be trying very, very hard to get in the slipstream of Fnatic at the final corner. We have just lost Lucas from the race. He's spectated. We're down to 33 cars. But what field we have here. Very, very experienced field of Fox drivers, and that's why we only lost one car in an opening lap, well, a couple of opening laps at a very technical track. It's quite short, this track, Michael, but it is technical. As I say that, Fnatic makes a mistake. He goes deep into the final sector and loses a place to Gabor and Isaac. So Isaac's up to P2 and Gabor's right on him now.
Yeah, that was an initial mistake, but it allowed both of them to overtake it. Now Gabor, with speed advantage, tries to capitalize also on the Isaac price, but they are both really late onto the brakes, but give each other the room. And let's see who has the bus to stay ahead in this chicane. And it looks like Gabor was more brave and takes the second place for now.
Amazing stuff. Isaac was left out to dry there, but there we go, over the curbs for Gabor, and that shoves Isaac Price straight back into the clutches of Fnatic, who will be desperate to get that place back. All the while, Yoni Katilla will be thanking Fnatic for that, because it now means that Fnatic is battling with Isaac, and we've got Roger Chen coming back as well on the inside. Surely not. Oh no, he has. He's got a nose in there, Michael. Didn't see him coming at all. Fnatic drops back, and now it's Zesty who wants to go onto the grass. A little bit of a wobble, gonna lose time and drop into the clutches of TJ. It's all going off. This track is yielding some fantastic pack racing at the beginning of race 1.
Yeah, that was incredible. Three wide braking into that turn, but so far Isaac Price is able to keep everyone behind. Let's see if he's far enough from Roger Chen to keep it from the slipstream, but I guess he's not, as Roger Chen is coming, and he's diving into the braking zone and makes the move. And now Isaac is trying for the switchback, but will have to yield into this chicane because you can go side by side here, and everyone who has some experience knows it. And now it's Fnatic's opportunity to get some positions back. He has to wait for the bridge straight, because here you can't really overtake, and if you are too close you can mess up in the dirty air. But this is perfect opportunity for Fnatic to make the move. Let's see if he's brave on the brakes. No, actually he brakes sooner than Isaac Price and makes it hard for himself to make the pass.
Yeah, well, that was surprising. I thought Fnatic was going to go for it, but a little bit tentative on the brakes. Maybe didn't want to interfere with Isaac's race. I don't know. Anyway, it's Yoni Katilla leading the way in his true Alfa Romeo livery there, ahead of Gabor, who now has backed the fastest lap and will set his sights on the back of Yoni, because, well, Roger Chen now occupies third place, and there's a second and a half between them, as Isaac is in another fight with Fnatic, and there's more battling going on behind. We've got Rex versus TJ while we watch Isaac Price gain back that number 4 on the timing tower.
It's a plenty of racing action. We don't know which battle to watch first, but right now we are concentrated on the battle between TJ and Rex, who's closely following him. Let's see if he's close enough on the bridge straight. There's a gaggle of cars in the slipstream, and this will be a battle on the brakes into the right-hander. They're both side by side, but Rex had to back off. Meanwhile, Isaac is under pressure from Fnatic still as we speak, but Fnatic goes to the right and loses the opportunity to go side by side here. And as we speak, Zesty is trying to take advantage, but this is not the place where you can overtake. Instead, they should prepare themselves for the start-finish straight and take advantage of the slipstream.
Yeah, the cars are going to come across to start lap number 7. There goes Gabor. Then it's Yoni, then Gabor, and Unite's gone in the pit lane to do his mandatory pit stop relatively early, I'd say. There's another car there leaving the pit lane. That's Al Payson joining from the back. Not sure what happened to him. Pretty sure he set a qualifying time, did he? So yeah, Unite's got a drive through. Penalty for Unite leaving the pits. He'll be pretty gutted about that one. That's another trip through the one of the shortest pit lanes in Need for Speed, but still you lose a lot of time because it's quite fast. The straight next to that, especially if you're in a Fox. So another chunk of time will go away from Unite there. As Fnatic now, instead of attacking Isaac Price, is in a fight with Zesty again. Zesty going to the outside, surely not. Around the outside, nope. And and loses time to TJ then. So it goes from attacking into defense mode almost. But as we round out the lap, TJ will be trying his best to get under the rear wing of the Master Race car and see if he can get through at turn 1, but a kick of oversteer onto the power, that's not going to help him at all. But Fnatic will maybe be checking his mirrors as well. No, Fnatic's not, sorry, Zesti's not had a good exit, but will it matter? Roger Chen and Isaac are side by side as well. You're right, Michael, we don't know where to put the cameras.
Yeah, Zesti and TJ are all over the back of Fnatic, but there's no change in place so far. Meanwhile, we are watching Happy D in P13 trying to make some impression as he's leading over Onifus, Christian, and we are switching to Unite, who is now after his pit stop, but will have to take a drive-through penalty, which will hurt his race greatly.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to lose another load of places when he does that. He's currently in P20. Came out in traffic. Maybe he will open up the gap and serve the drive-through later on. Remains to be seen. But it looks like, actually, he's not going to have such an easy time because Martins wants the place back. He's on the outside already. The outside is suboptimal, really, for trying to get round a car ahead of you. And I think, actually, he'll lose a place to Adal there. Yeah, he does. And potentially McGregor, there's contact there. McGregor trying to force open the door, but it won't work. Martins holds his line, and these guys fall back into line.
Yeah, there was small contact between them, but everyone remains on the grey stuff.
The gap between our leaders has gone down to almost half a second as Gabor is starting to close up on the back of our race leader. We'll keep an eye on that. One mistake from Yoni and it's all over as Roger Chen is under pressure again from Fnatic. Must have lost a bit of time in the first sector there because I'm pretty sure he was all over the back of Isaac Price at the end of the last lap. And, well, Fnatic is going to make quick work of this because Roger's given up the inside, Michael.
Yeah, looks like Roger Chen made a mistake in the chicane, and that gave opportunity to Fnatic to advance one place. And as they do so, meanwhile, TJ and Zesti are in the direct battle, and it's currently TJ who's ahead, I believe.
Yeah, he just made the move in the last corner, I think, and already up to the back of Zesti. We've got a fight going on with Magrio, Number, and who's that? Pedro Biar as well. Number on the inside of Magrio there. Pedro, oh, contact between Number and Magrio. Magrio sent off into the bushes. So feisty stuff there from those two.
Yeah, Magrio has some small damage to the right suspension of his car, but it seems to be manageable. His tires are in good condition, so he will definitely keep going. Gabor is now about half a second behind Yoni Katela from World-Class Lions. This lead is pretty much stable, but I'm sure that when we come to the late pit stops in this race, things may shuffle a little bit.
Yeah, it's fascinating to see these two going at it. They are at the peak of their game in LFS. And of course, we don't know, normally we wouldn't know what sort of fuel strategy the drivers were using, but of course we have two races tonight, so fuel doesn't really come into it. The drivers do need to make a stop, but they don't have to do any work, so this is a flat-out sprint to the finish, so we can assume from that they're both running the same fuel. Therefore, yeah, it's a level playing field. You've just got to go for it. At the moment, it's Yoni doing just enough, eking another 10th out of Gabor that lap, as we've got a fight between Rick98 and Zesti. Rick on the outside there. Sorry, Rex on the outside trying to get around Zesti. And Rick98 is just behind them. But there we go. Zesti holds on to P7 for now.
Yeah, Rick98 now in 9 is very hungry for the position. Should be in the slipstream of Rex, who is however very close to the back of the stage. They are now side by side. Let's see if they go 3 wide, probably not. Yeah, this has to back off, and he's attempting the switchback, but didn't plant it very nicely and has to stay behind Rex for the time being.
Turning the screws is Gabor. It's down to 0.3 of a second, and he's tantalisingly close at the end of the lap. Michael, let's see if he can be underneath the rear wing enough so to get the job done. I don't think so. I think Yoni is going to be safe for another lap from the advances of Gabor. Yep, I think so. And oh, this is fascinating because they're now completely nose to tail. And yeah, Gabor will be firmly in the slipstream up the hill now. So Yoni's days in the lead of this race might be coming to an end pretty soon if Gabor has his way.
Absolutely, Gabor is right on the tail of Yoni, and right now, if he stay on the track, which he does, he has a perfect opportunity, but will have to be on the outside of the braking zone into the 90 degrees level-hander. Let's see who's braver on the brakes. It's Gabor, but he's in not very favorable position. However, he's still able to make it around the outside.
Wow, I mean, he lasted longer than anyone else so far around the outside, and still has a wheel on the inside, but onto the grass. Surely he'll have to yield now. Good attempt. I can't believe he had a wheel alongside 3 corners after starting that one. But back to square one there for Gabor. Amazing stuff at the front. Brilliant.
Yeah, there was a light contact in between them, but no damage done to either of them. So we just have to wait for another exciting battle for the lead in this race.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we won't be waiting too long for that, Michael. So yeah, we'll hold our breath for a bit. All sorts going off down the field. We've got Rodolfo leading a train of 3 Fragmaster's cars. It's Strutter, the best driver in the world, according to Zdravko Topolniak and a few others, followed by Onifus and Happy D there in a happy gap, which is one of the biggest gaps that exists in the entire field.
Yeah, I'm sure he would be more happy if he was in top 10. And to do so, he needs to pass Onifus and Strutter, and as he's my teammate, I'm rooting for him, you know.
Oh, yeah, I mean, you have to. It's rude not to.
It's mandatory.
Yeah, exactly, mandatory. If you're not doing your job properly, so don't worry. 12th place, highest placed master race car driver, Happy D there.
Speaking of, it was Onifus who spun out of these 2, and he's...
That's a terrible rejoin. That's a dreadful rejoin. Straight into the side of... Who was that? Was it... who was that? Whoever it is has left. Not good at all there from Onifus.
Good drivers. Hosep has joint spectators, so I believe that was him.
Yeah, Hosep there leaving the race as well. So unfortunate victim of Onifus's rejoin. And we're watching Yoni Katila because Gabor has the bit between his teeth and only 12 laps to get the job done. Over half the race gone, and Gabor is still tantalisingly close to Yoni Katila. And there's a 3-second gap back to Isaac Price. You can just see him. You can just see the lead 2 ahead of him. But how hard is he pushing, I wonder, to try and catch up? He'll want the 2 ahead to be fighting pretty soon. Speaking of fighting pretty soon, Michael, it's your teammate versus Strutter.
Yeah, Strutter made some mistake out of the first chicane, and it's a perfect opportunity for Happy D to try the pass, but he's very courteous. Tries for the second. Another contact. Copy-paste of what Onifus did, and that's another Fragmaster vehicle down.
Yeah, but this time Strutter choosing to spin his car around in the opposite direction, probably the best way of doing it. But unfortunate there, completely unforced error. Happy D gains a place, and Dal is down the order because he's done a drive-through. He's just completed that now. He did a pit stop as well, and has a drive-through, sorry. So he will be serving his drive-through soon as we return to watch Gabor. 0.6 of a second, Michael, now.
Yeah, just an observation, Strutter's rear tires after that spin are completely hot, and he's now in the pit lane. I believe he will definitely switch them. In fact, he didn't, so he will have to do some cooling techniques.
Well, yeah, any sort of unnecessary spin or unnecessary wheel spin really does heat these tyres up. Turbo Blaster ran out of fuel on the lap, so must have been running maybe a qualifying load or something, or just didn't calculate the number of laps properly, but Turbo Blaster leaves the race out of fuel, unfortunately.
He's practicing for the E-Challenge and messed up.
Fire starter off as well. It's all going off at the chicane. Tyre stacks flying everywhere as well. Yeah, it's a bit early to be practicing for E-Challenge, isn't it, Michael?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Let's see what the close future brings.
Shameless, Michael, shameless. Anyway, we're watching Firestarter recovering from a bit of an incident. We didn't quite catch it. We just saw the aftermath. But Yoni is, Gabor is almost half a second away now again. But Yoni he's doing enough. He doesn't need to be miles ahead. He only needs to be ahead when the flag comes down. So if he can keep doing what he's doing for another 10 laps, then victory in race 1 will go to him. Gabor still trying to get through in P2. Then it's Isaac Price, Fanatic, and TJ getting pretty close actually. So that might be something towards the end. Roger Chen was pretty high up, now down to P6. Still high up in relative terms, but he was higher up than that at the beginning. Then it's Rex in P7, Rick 98, Rodolfo and Christian for the Fragmasters team, rounding out our top 10 in race number 1. Rick 98 is sizing up the back of Rex. Rex consistently good in the Fox, Michael.
Yeah, this is a regular driver in this weekly Friday events, so he has a lot of experience, and it really shows on tracks like this where there's very little room for error, and he's performing very well tonight.
Yeah, another consistent performance from Rex, holding up a formidable driver, Rick 98, who comes into the pit lane, doesn't want to be held up anymore, and wants to get his mandatory pit stop done as we return to the front, where it has become even closer between our top 2. Can Yoni do it again? Well, we're about to find out. Grab your seats and stay hooked, because this is going to be a thrill. Can Gabor get through and take the lead over Yoni Katila? Time will tell.
Yeah, I will predict that Gabor will have to go on the outside again, and let's see if he's brave enough to stay around for all the time. He's now braking later, but goes very wide, and the attempt is already over for him.
Quite brave to try it again, even though it forced him off the track the last time around. He's lost time again. Maybe now he won't try that again, and he'll just be patient for the home straight, because surely it's much easier. Will he be closer at the end of this lap? Goodness me, look how deep he goes on the brakes, and takes a much tighter line than Yoni through the hairpin there. But is he close enough to get the job done on the straight? Let's see.
I am concerned the gap is now a little bit too big to make the opportunity into this braking zone, so yeah, we have to wait for another straight on the railway bridge, as we were Fnatic making his military pit stop as he drops to P8.
Yeah, into the pit lane for him, and we will have to see where he will rejoin. Where did he come out? So he comes out in P10, and if we look at the drivers who have stopped, that makes Fnatic the highest placed driver who has already made a pit stop. So he has lots and lots of clean air ahead of him to potentially make up places on Happy D, Christian, Rodolfo, and a few others potentially if they get into some sort of battle. So a nice pit stop there, nicely timed from Fnatic. Our lead battle continues. Go on, Michael.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that speaking of battles, Gabor is now getting close to Yoni again, and if he doesn't mess up, he should be in the slipstream of the car ahead onto the start-finish straight. He seems to be right now, and I believe he should be side by side as they start braking into the turn 1.
Oh, not quite. Or not close enough out of the final corner, but where will it happen on the lap? We've got a three-way fight between Ayub, Zesty and Rick 98 here. Now Rick 98 closer to Ayub, and will definitely have a slipstream onto start-finish. There he goes, Rick 98 on the inside then. Ayub not attempting to defend that one at all, unfortunately, and Rick 98 makes the place. Now, what's Gabor going to do this time?
I think he has no other opportunity than what we saw twice before, because Yoni will always defend the inside. And
look at Isaac. Isaac's getting closer. Isaac's only 2.5 seconds behind this now, and Gabor is holding Yoni up.
You know what happens when two are fighting, right?
Yeah, I mean, this is great stuff. It'd be fun if it ended up in a three-way tussle at the end. 8 laps after this one, including this one, sorry, to go. And we are in for a treat here. Gabor, yet again, not close enough. He's going to hold Yoni up again at the double left.
The time is running up for Gabor. It's only 7 laps left, plus the mandatory pit stop, so the amount of opportunities is going down with every lap.
Yeah, Ayub has been cleared by Rick98, who now sets his sights on the back of Zesty again, though there is still a bit of a gap there as well. A number is P15, and if he stays there, you know what that means?
Yeah, he would be on the pole position for the race too.
I wonder if that's his plan. I really wonder. He still has to do a pit stop. There's a number of other drivers who will do pit stops as well, but is Number playing the numbers game by trying to finish in P15, I wonder. We will see. Happy D pulling alongside Christian and not quite managing to make the move work there. Happy D not quite able to get it done in the infield, Michael, but he's going to have a go onto the home straight, I think.
Yeah, he's very close, and I think that Christian will be defenseless into the braking zone. They're already side by side over the line, very close, almost make a contact. But Christian is on the inside, which is a favorable line through here, and stays ahead for the time being.
Yeah, Yoni Katilla is doing enough here. Really is being pushed to the absolute limit by Gabor. This is fantastic to see two drivers fighting for the win in equal machinery. This is really good stuff. Isaac now 2.3 seconds, but I don't think there's enough time. I don't think, unless Gabor really does upset Yoni, I don't think we're going to see a three-way fight. But amongst all this, TJ has stolen away the fastest lap. He has been in a bit of clear air and is now showing everybody that he has the pace, but that one-shot qualifying session really did hurt him. Didn't get the timed lap that he wanted when his chance came. And Gabor steals away the fastest lap momentarily. Will TJ take it back? No, Gabor has it for now. But still not able to get through into turn one. So, oh, but here we go, traffic. We have some traffic ahead. Who's that? It's Kirku 87, just up ahead. So Kirku should, by now, be well aware of the etiquette to move aside. As he does so, Gabor's going to use a cheeky bit of slipstream. Distant toe to try and get any advantage he can. Oh, he's gone wide, he's gone deep. And that's a big error. That's a lot of time that he just lost there. I wonder what happened. Maybe just braked a bit too late as Number takes the fastest lap.
His tires seems to look fine, so I think he was just too happy into the turn and braked very late.
A bit of a status quo here. No real close battles going on at the moment, so that's why we are going to focus our attention on these two. Mind you, it looks like Doctor may have had an issue somewhere. Unite's going into the pit lane now to serve his drive-through as well. So out he comes. Where's he going to rejoin, I wonder? He's going to be around. Who's that going past? That's Bortz. The Road Appraiser managing to get a place. So that's what the drive-through cost Unite. He's all the way down in 16th place. but a number of drivers ahead still to make a stop. There you go. The whole of the top 8 have yet to stop. Abe and Rocket have also yet to stop. So 10 drivers we will be seeing through the pit lane. And at some point, our race leader and the man who's been chasing him for 23 laps now will also be trying to do a pit stop. When are they going to happen? It's going to happen it's going to happen in the next 2 laps now, because neither of them choose to go into pit lane. Neither does Isaac Price. I wonder what would have happened if this had been the full length Fox Friday. Would have been fascinating to see, but this race is going to come to an end too quickly. But you know, we do love a sprint race. Rex has spun after that great performance at the beginning, Michael. He's had a spin.
Yeah, he's at a spin, and now his rear tires are all hot, so I think he will not be able to repass the car ahead. But considering he's in P14, it should give him some good starting position for the second race, as we are reversing top 15 in the finish of this race.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, so actually it might be a happy accident, and whoever finishes in P15 is on the lucky seat. It won't be Yoni Katilla unless something horrendous happens in his pit stop, which has to happen now. We're going to see Yoni Katilla, Gabor, Isaac Price, TJ, Roger Chen, Rodolfo, Christian and Fnatic into pit lane this lap before they finish the race. In fact, Gabor's gone round again. Sorry, not Gabor. Yoni's gone round again. So too has Isaac. And it was Gabor who decided to do his pit stop. Now, maybe he thinks the only way he's going to get past is on pure pace. But look, there's traffic again. It's Kirku who comes out ahead. And Isaac Price with the fastest lap, but too little too late, I'm afraid, unless something befalls Yoni at the pit stop and something happens to Gabor. On this, the penultimate lap of our first race. Remember, we have 2 races this evening, both 28 laps long, reversed top 15 for race 2, which ensures fireworks. And that's probably an understatement, given how charged up the front of this race has been. But let's watch Johnny Katilla, our race leader, as he peels away into the pit lane. Number and Rex battling, Happy D and Abe also fighting out on track. But let's watch Johnny do his pit stop and see if anything goes wrong. Isaac will come in as well, he has to. Bit of a lock up on the way in for both of them, but well under the speed limit. And Johnny parks it up in a box. TJ also parks up in a box. Isaac is on his way as well. But here comes Gabor. Flat out, passes Isaac. He's up to speed, but he's not had as good an outlap as he would have liked. And still has a bit of daylight between him and our race leader. More cars leaving pit lane. We've got Rodolfo here being followed out by Christian then. And there we go. So we are on the final lap, Michael, and it is Yoni Katilla who's doing everything right. He will be starting P15 for race 2 if he finishes here, but he won't care about that because it will be another victory to his name. Just, well, what, 6 corners to go before he can taste the champagne or taste the seltzer water or whatever it is they have. Let's have a look at Christian as we have a bit of action on the last lap with Rodolfo.
Yeah, they're going side by side into that left-hander, but Christian made a mistake, and that allows Happy D for overtaking opportunity. But he goes wide, and the opportunity is lost, and we should go back to the lead. As True Alpha, aka Yoni Katilla, is now about to cross the finish line and to win the race, number 1 of the 41st Fragmaster Fox Friday of this year, leading over Gabor and Isaac Price in 3rd, TJ in 4th, Fnatic in 5th. And we are watching Christian in close battle with Happy D, but it's not too good for Happy D, and he's just outside of top 10.
Yeah, an excellent race from start to finish from the guys at the top there. Thrilling stuff. Yanni Killer holding off Gabor by 0.4 of a second in the end. Gabor had 3 attempts to get past, don't forget, and a few unforced errors means that he denied himself a few more. But yeah, it's fantastic stuff from Yanni, managing to hold off Gabor. Isaac Price not on his best day in that race, but still managing to get the fastest lap and finish 2.6 seconds off. But yeah, Isaac, fair to say, would be a bit rusty. Hasn't done much LFS for a while, but still able to snag a podium in race one. Remember though, he will start ahead of both Gabor and Yanni for race 2, as our pole sitter should be none other than Sidus Unite. So from the front to the back for him, and now he will start at the front again. So that's worked out well for Unite.
Yeah, I almost like the drive-through was the plan all along.
Yeah, we're just going to double check to see if that is everybody across the line. We think that it is, and we will get you a full rundown of the order before we start race number 2. Okay, so the results of race number 1 are as follows. Yanni Killer in 32 minutes 41 seconds, 0.13, takes the top spot ahead of Gabor and Isaac Price, who took the fastest lap, a 1:14.31, absolutely rapid. TJ Fnatic, Roger Chen, Zesty, Rick98, Rodolfo and Christian, the top 10. Then it's Happy D, Rex, Number, Bortz and Unite in P15, who will take pole position for race number 2. Negrio will start P16 with Dr. Abe, Strutter and Pantheo starting just behind. Then we have the final page of results with some DNFs on it. Iron Donny, Firestarter, Johnny SVK, Pedro BR, Finn UK, Adal, Lalaru, Rocket, Kirku87 and Al Payson all finishing, although Al Payson finished a suspicious number of laps down. Not sure what happened to him at the start of the race. But yeah, the DNFs there on the right hand side: Jay Martins, Turbo Blaster, Onifus, Hozep and Lucas. Hozep and Onifus removed themselves from the race on the same lap because Onifus rejoined in front of him, unfortunately. A handful of minutes before we get going for race 2, the drivers will have a comfort break. We will take a very quick pause as well, but don't go away because we have another 26 lap race coming with a reversed top 15, which is sure to cause a whole bunch of drama. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a few moments' time. Welcome back to round 41 of Fragmaster's Fox Friday in Live for Speed at Fern Bay Gold. We have just concluded race number one, won of course by Yoni Katilla, held off Gabor for 26 laps, and we're going to do it all again. But this time Yoni Katilla is going to be starting all the way down in the middle of the pack in P15. We're going to go for a second 30-minute or around about 26 lap race. The drivers are in the background, readying up, ready to go. We are running slightly behind time, but never mind. We enjoy our Fox Friday racing, don't we, Michael?
You are absolutely right. We are just seconds away from getting ready to start. There are still some drivers waiting to be readied up.
Yeah, we've just got one more driver waiting to go, and then we will see our grid once again in all of its glory on the home straight of Fern Bay Gold. So here we go for another race. Michael, take it away for the lights.
So we are about to start the race number 2 of tonight's 41st round of Fragmaster Fox Friday. It's Unite on the pole position after he finished P15 in the previous race. Both in P2, Number in 3rd, Rex 4th, and MRC HPD in 5th place. The lights are red, and we are now going green, and it's a pretty similar start by everyone. Unite seems to be having a lot of room behind him, as Number seems to be going ahead of Buffed, and Rex is also opportunistic. But they have to slot into the single file through this chicane, which can be very dangerous. Currently don't see anyone dying there. Unite is still leading Number, as Buffed is now under pressure from good driver's Rex, as we are approaching the back straight on the railway bridge. Rex onto the inside.
Yeah, we've got a three-wide situation, sorry, in the background. It's Gabor, Yoni Katilla. Who else is in that battle? We've got Isaac Price just up ahead, and it's Doctor in the middle, causing all sorts of headache. Isaac's managed to break away a little bit from this fight. You can just see him ahead. He's at the back of the following pack, but Doctor there on the outside is going to let Yoni Katilla slip. Sorry, that's Gabor slip through. And, well, Yoni's now trapped behind Doctor. But yeah, Isaac Price is off. Not sure what happened there, Michael, but he's off. He's been spun round.
Yeah. There was collision with somebody, and somebody was TJ.
Yeah,
they
TJ
both spun, and TJ is
corner.
going into the pit lane, which is a sensible decision after such collision.
Yeah, interesting to see those two coming together. Not sure quite how that would have happened, especially there. It's an unusual place. Maybe side by side out of the hairpin, rubbed wheels, and that was the result. But TJ goes into the pit lane. Isaac Price drops way down the order, and they leave the pit lane now. Isaac very close with someone else there. I think that was Lallaroo. And it's Unite who leads with the number 1 next to his name there. Then it's Number, who played his cards wisely, finished in a good position to get a high-placed spot on the grid for race number 2. 3rd place is Bort, then Rex again. He's made good progress up to P4 there, Michael.
Yeah, it was a good start for him, but right behind him, Zesty and Christian and Fnatic are battling hard for the 7th place.
Christian in P8, bit of a wobble again out of the hairpin. Now Fnatic will fancy a go at his teammate down the start-finish straight. Fnatic, probably one of the best placed drivers for a good result here. Definitely had the pace in race 1 to do some damage to other drivers, and through he goes on his teammate. Not really making that very difficult. So now it's Roger Chen, who I'm sure will find it far more difficult to get past Christian.
Yeah, I'm sure Roger Chen will be very opportunistic on the next straight, unless he makes some mistake in the dirty air, but so far he seems to be knowing what he's doing, and we might actually get some... Oh, he got 2 wheels onto the grass, and that cost him some time, and he's losing the draft to 2 FM drivers ahead who are about to go side by side, but they backed off, and it was a very late braking from Roger Chen, but he still manages to stay on the inside.
Yeah, and unseen to us, Number has slipped through and taken the lead. Not quite sure when it happened. I'm guessing it must have been a mistake, or was it an overtaking opportunity that was presented to him? I'm not really sure. But either way, Unite's lost the lead and now is having to defend a little bit from Bortz, and well, Number leads for Fragmaster. Meanwhile, in the background, Gabor is trying to weave his way through some of the Fragmaster traffic. Here he is trying to get through on Christian, who we watched before. Christian will probably not put up much of a fight on Gabor there. But yeah, interestingly enough, Gabor's yet to get through Doctor. Interesting story there for sure. Yeah, and as he weaves his way through that first chicane, very, very tricky to do quickly. You don't want to hit any of the tyre bales. Through there, it's Number who leads from Unite, then it's Road Appraiser Bortz, Good Drivers Rex, Master Race Car Happy D, Fragmasters Rodolpha, Master Race Car Zesty, Fanatic for Fragmaster again, Roger 10 and Doctor now round out the top 10. Yeah, so Yoni Catilla has been into pit lane, has done a pit stop, and Gabor is losing time battling through cars up ahead. Look at this.
Yeah, this is a fantastic battle, and it's apparent that Doctor is just not giving any inch to Gabor easily, and Gabor is really struggling in the dirty air of Doctor. He needs to do some impression quickly, because otherwise the lead of the race will just run away and he won't be able to get to the top position.
There we go.
Yeah, he had to react, and this is what he's doing.
Right, well, where's he going to come out? Oh, Yoni Catilla's off as well. It's absolutely going wrong for everybody here. Yoni Catilla's retired. He's out. So we're not going to find out where Gabor will come out alongside Yoni Catilla. Have we got anyone else to compare? Isaac Price had an incident. Gabor's had an incident somewhere. He's lost a lot of time. Rejoins in P16. And, well, there we go. Drama. Yoni out. Isaac Price dropping down the order. Gabor not with a good in-lap. Lost 2 seconds. Somewhere out on circuit we're hearing, so yeah, not good for Gabor at all. Number has this pretty well in order, so too does Unite for a podium.
Yeah, and it looks like it was Rick 98 who had coming with Yoni Catilla and caused him to retire, so
we've had more drama. Sorry to interrupt. Yeah, we can pick up with you in a minute on that, but we've got drivers climbing the walls. Jay Martin's there, Pantheo rage quitting in style there, driving up the hill. Sorry, let's return to your point there, Michael, if possible. Sorry.
Yeah, my point was observing the chat in the race that it was apparently Rick 98 who caused Yoni Catilla to crash heavily and retire from the race.
Okay, yeah. So there we are. Someone else who's struggling a little bit looks like is Josep, but although doesn't appear to be anywhere near Onifus on track, as Onifus isn't currently on track, so I think he's safe. He's safe from any of that malarkey. But yeah, P18 currently coming across start-finish line to start lap 6 in this one, and hopefully he can make it to the end this time.
Yeah, I can't believe we are already on lap 6, as there's so much action. I can't keep up with the time, and this races keep going and going, as Number is still leading over Unite in P2 and both in P3. I'm happy to see Happy D and Zesty in P6, 5 and 6, I believe. So that's some good provisional results for the MRC team. Let's see if they don't mess up in this very chaotic race.
Well, I hope for your sake and for theirs that they don't, as you said, mess it up. But 2 drivers who will be wanting to spoil the Master Race Car party are Rodolpha and Fanatic. Rodolpha, one of the seasoned Fox drivers in the Fragmasters team from yesteryear, who could run rings around you if it was his day. Currently in P7, leading Fanatic. So old hands driving to try and get the better of the Master Race Car team currently. And well, let's see if they can manage it. They're currently about a second or under a second behind. And well, it's quite an ominous sight, isn't it, having Fragmaster cars in your rearview mirror?
Yeah, and at this point, this is also the closest battle we have on the track, so we should stay around these two for a little bit longer, as Fnatic is probably going to try to overtake Rodolpha, and he's going side by side around the outside, and Rodolpha seems to be giving the place to
he lifted
teammate.
lifted to let him through, which is fair enough if he didn't think he was going to be gaining anything from it. And Fnatic can go ahead and try and disrupt the Master Race Car rhythm as Isaac Price bags the fastest lap of the race, all the way down in P19, trying to recover what he can from this race. Don't rule him out, of course. He has some clear air, and we don't know what's going to happen in this race. As Michael said, the first 6 laps of this race were pretty filled with drama. And it's not going to end, is it? Because we've got Adal backwards in the wall, and retired, actually. That was just before the final sector. Just in the final sector, actually.
Not just either, also a few Rocket has just left the race, so that leaves us with very few cars compared to where we started, and we are just on lap 8.
Yeah, I mean, race 2 is always a higher rate of attrition. The drivers start out of order. Basically, you have the faster drivers in the middle of the pack, and then they have to overtake each other to get to the front, as Michael has spotted a battle with Rex.
Yeah, Rex is side by side with Boss, trying it around the outside, but as we saw previously, it's not the most useful place to overtake. But for this time, for Rex, it did work, and Happy was opportunistic and right, and now not just lose the opportunity to advance forward, he has to lost position to the teammate Zesty. So at least that's no loss to MRC in a nutshell.
Yeah, he went in the dirty end, which was an odd choice. Stayed very, very close to a high downforce corner and paid the price, and now risks losing further places to the Fragmaster's car behind. Fnatic will see what he can do as Rex goes side by side with Bort into the first corner, and what a beautiful switchback that was. Textbook.
Yeah, that was fantastic to see. And now Bot is under pressure from Master Race Car Zesty. Now Zesty is in those fast twisty turns where you need the downforce, but he seems to be able to stay in the right place. And let's see whether he goes left or right. I think Bobs will go defensive to the left. No, in fact he leaves the doors open and there's have a collision. I think Zesty was a bit too brave on the brakes, and it was a very close call.
Yeah, with his teammate of all people.
They are really making the show tonight.
That was super, super close, at least from that camera angle. But yeah, not the best time as we have a car off. Zesty off as well. So it's all going wrong at the front of the field. The action never stops here. We are on lap 9 of race 2 of round 41 of Fragmaster's Fox Friday. Thanks for joining us on Sim Broadcasts on this Friday night as Christian drops into pit lane on lap 10, or lap 9, sorry, for him. And will do his mandatory pit stop. Both races, of course, with that mandatory pit stop. And Number is looking pretty handsome out front there. 1.4 seconds ahead of Unite, who didn't really have anything to say in race 1, just kind of existed and qualified high up for race number 2.
Yeah, both Number and Unite are in a very similar pace. Their fastest lap individual is also very comparable, so I don't see these two going to fight very soon. I think they are just trying to make the gap ahead of the field behind them and then pit as late as possible and finish in possibly the first or second place.
Yeah, and annoyingly for Gabor, he is currently in a fight with one of the other drivers who has made a pit stop, and that is Roger Chen. We're looking back from him now, this is currently the net lead of the race. These guys have done their pit stop, so this is where all the other drivers are aiming to be ahead of when they come out of the pits, and it's Gabor who would really like to get past Roger as soon as he can.
And Christian has spectated, so he's retired from the race, as we are watching Happy D now chasing Fnatic. Yeah, apparently he was passed by Fnatic, so it's a perfect opportunity for a payback, as long as he's able to stay in the dirty air through these fast turns where you need some downforce, but he seems to be doing very well in that regard. And let's see which side he...
Oh, he's not going for it.
Yeah, that's weird decision.
Yeah, you're in he's forgotten he's in a race.
Or maybe he's struggling with fuel, but that would be weird because I assume he's using the same amount of fuel from the previous race. So there must be some strategic mind going inside his head.
Yeah, confusing story there, but there we are. Fnatic makes a place and moves up to P4. Quite a distance between him and Rex, but there we go. Unite currently P2, 1.5 seconds behind Number. Then we've got Rex in P3, best of the rest. Then it's Fnatic, who looks like he might have the pace to gain maybe one more position. We're just approaching halfway in the race. There's time left for Fnatic to make an impact on the podium here.
Yeah, so far he's doing very well in 4th place, but let's see where he ends up after the mandatory round of pit stops. Let's remember that some guys at the back have already done these stops. So the order as it is now is not very representable of what the final result will be like. As we are watching Gabor in P13, currently behind Roger Chen, who I believe is also after the mandatory stop. So if Gabor wants to win, he needs to get past on the track, and that's something we want to see.
Yeah, I hadn't mentioned it yet in the broadcast, but for me, Fern Bay Gold is one of the most nostalgic racetracks in the for speed. Brilliant racing track. Has everything you want. Crossover, tight, twisty corners, long straights, hairpins, everything. Brilliant stuff, and it's really awesome to see people enjoying it in the darker days of 2023. Unbelievable, really, as Gabor now is right behind Roger. Roger was held up a little bit, I think, by Firestarter, and has an opportunity to get the move on. Firestarter to the pits.
Yeah, and Gabor's on the inside, breaks later than Roger Chen, and looks like it's a job done because Roger Chen is unable to make the switch back. So now it's Gabor into P11, taking up 2 places.
Ooh,
and
wow.
Roger Chen was very eager onto the exit out of the chicane and barely stayed on the track.
I mean, that was a hold and a half. That was some cat-like reactions there from Roger Chen. I haven't seen many people hold an incident like that out of the first chicane here. That needs clipping.
Yeah, that was a fantastic save from him. And he now has to clear his tires because, as we know, tires in LFS can get dirty and that reduces your grip. So he's now having to get some gap from Gabor.
Well, he's lucky to still be in the race, but well held for Roger Chen there. Gabor makes a place, but will it be enough? Trespasser says they're 5.5 seconds behind the leader once they make their stop, so that's quite a lot of time to make up in half the race. So we'll see. Stranger things have happened, but the stranger things didn't normally involve Number out front dominating the race.
Yeah, Number is really taking advantage of a good starting position for this race, and apparently of some mistake that Unite did, because he was leading for the first 2 or 3 laps, I believe, and then just mysteriously dropped back, so there must have been some mistake from him. And Number is currently doing a flawless run, and as long as he doesn't mess up the pit stop, I think he should finish very high in this order.
Yeah, it's great to see him out front enjoying his time there. Unite is trying his best to catch up, but just doesn't have the pace on the day, unfortunately. 2 seconds now, the gap. Up to Number. Then it's Rex, who's having another good race. Now, first race didn't quite go his way, but he's managed to consolidate P3 currently, and just needs to hold on to it. From Fnatic, who is closing the gap down, 2 seconds between them two as well. I think Fnatic has a chance, but he's got to work pretty hard because Rex is being consistent when he's in space.
Yes, not so far behind Fnatic is Happy D and Fragmaster Rodolfa, so he also has to watch his back to make sure he doesn't lose any positions as well.
Yeah, here we go then. So Happy D is in a happy medium between the two Fragmasters drivers, but Rodolfo currently not really able to get past him or even catch up to him at this point. Fnatic capitalised on a mistake between Zesty and Happy D, but neither of them are able to get away from each other, and Rodolfo really hasn't come onto the scene either just yet, but there's still time. Gabor is 17.2 seconds off our race leader, which by calculations is too far away currently to be in the lead of the race, as Unite goes for a pit stop, Michael.
Yes, he's dived into the pit lane. This time no drive-through penalty for him. Let's see where he rejoins. He's in P8, now P9, and if he's able to stay ahead of Stratter, which seems to be the way, yeah, he's currently at P9, just ahead of Stratter in P10, and should be good to go because I believe he's the leading driver that has done the pit stop, if I am not wrong.
The graphics will tell you that you're absolutely right, and that gives you an indication of the gap between Unite and Gabor. It's not far, but there's a gap, and remember that Number was 2 seconds ahead still of Unite. There's the gap. That's the gap between Gabor and Unite. So Gabor has to get the hammer down. He can't afford a single other mistake, and he has to gain time hand over fist to have any chance of winning this one.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see if Number will respond soon to this move, because in Live for Speed the undercut doesn't usually work, but if Number does any sort of small mistake or Unite makes few faster laps than him, then it is definitely possible to take the advantage of the place without overtaking on the track. And I believe, however, that Number will stay at the front for as long as he can, possibly until the very last lap. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I don't see any reason for him to give up track position. He's not coming up against any traffic at the moment, and even if he does, that traffic should get well out of the way, because everybody here is very experienced. I don't really see anybody on the grid that could pose a problem in those situations. I recognise every single person out there. So yeah, we've got a good grid here tonight. Very skilled drivers. However, if you're watching this and you like the look of it, then please come and join us. We're a friendly bunch, and we'd love to see you qualifying for the grid of Fox Friday next time. Yeah, Michael, the point you make is valid, but I don't think that Number will fail on his track position here.
Yeah, the sensible decision. We are now about 10 laps to go, so the amount of opportunities to pit is getting shorter and shorter, but I think most of the drivers who are yet to pit will do so on the last 2 laps.
Yeah, we'll see. Number is driving very comfortably at the moment. Looks smooth, consistent, and barring any mistakes, he will cruise to victory in this one, it's pretty sure. As TJ and Firestarter now fighting down the home straight. What a race this could have been for TJ. Just didn't work out, and even again, contact TJ there. Maybe cutting the nose a little bit of Firestarter.
Yeah, that was a very unfortunate moment for both of them, but they didn't seem to lose much track positions, just a lot of time. However, good drivers Husep just behind them is now very close, so they have to watch out as they will be trying to cool down their rear tires after that half spin.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. I mean, it could have been a lot worse. You can often see these cars rolling over if they make side-by-side contact like that. Just not enough speed on that occasion to send the car into a roll. But yeah, you're right. Jose might fancy a move if he is close enough in a slipstream zone. Meanwhile, Rex, 4.2 seconds behind, looks pretty set to get a podium here. Michael?
Yes, so far he doesn't do many big mistakes or even small mistakes, I have to say. At this point, I don't want to jinx it.
Yeah, now.
The famous commentator's curse. But anyway, Number is still leading about 4 seconds over the good drivers Rex and Fnatic in P3. And
Yeah, I mean, Fnatic hasn't really made any gains. That's the point I wanted to make, really. As one of the back markers there moves out of the way, that's Alpayson, moving away for his teammates, just about. And let's have a look at Ayub and Isaac.
They're going side by side. Isaac on the inside. Ayub is very much squeezing him, but giving just enough room, and Isaac has to back off and wait for another opportunity, which will be surely at the turn 1 of the very next lap.
Well, good on Ayub for defending it. Everyone should do the same. You're out there for the win. You're not out there to let people through. Go for it and fight. Let's see what Ayub can do against Isaac Price. Not a lot normally. There's not much you can do. Strutter goes into the pit lane as we watch Isaac Price go for the move on the inside, and that is job done.
And speaking of close battles, it seems now that Gabor is right on the tail of Unite, and they are entering the bridge straight. And let's see which of the Stridus drivers will be ahead at the end of this heavy braking zone. Unite on the outside. I think he didn't give much hard fight to his teammate as Gabor is now progressing and is now in P9 and about to chase Zesty, who's 2.9 seconds ahead, as we have just 6 laps to go in this race.
Yeah, it's a long shot, but that little slipstream there from Unite would have helped Gabor somewhat. Not 6 seconds worth, but probably around what he needs. But yeah, so Number will pick a time to come in, probably at some point, probably on the 25th lap, end of the 25th lap, he'll come in. No reason to pit any sooner than that, really. He's in full control of the race, healthy gap behind. He'll be pretty confident that everyone else who pitted before will have come into traffic or other issues. So he has absolutely no reason not to leave it to the last moment to come in. And I'm pretty sure that's what he's going to do. Rex there, P2, solid drive, managing to hold a gap. The gap has been coming down, Michael, a little bit, but not enough, really, for Fnatic to gain anything out of this at the moment. Someone we haven't spoken about is Kig. I haven't spoken about Kig for a while. He's in a fight with Hozep.
Yeah, in fact, sorry, I was confused, but yeah, we are in the battle for 18th place between the Master Race Car Kig and the drivers Hozep, as they are trying really hard to overtake each other. They were already side by side into the turn 1, and they are just repeating that attempt into the second braking zone. Kig on the inside, Hozep on the outside, and now it looks like Kig's move is stick for the time being, as we have some cars into the pit line, and it's Fnatic with drive-through penalty, and also Zesty.
Oh no, that's a big error. Another Fragmaster's car succumbs to a drive-through penalty. Unite just managing to squeak ahead of Fnatic, actually. That's important, but it doesn't matter because Fnatic is going to be into the pit lane. That's indicative that Unite will be very close to Rex when Rex comes out of the pits. Gabor might have the better of him, but I think Rex might be in a fight with Unite here. So Rex now has to make a decision. He will have seen where Fnatic came out in relation to Unite, and if I were Rex, I would pit now and do my defending on the track. What would you do, Michael?
Yeah, I think that would be the most sensible decision, as when you're on the track, you at least have some opportunity to defend yourself. If the driver is just setting faster laps somewhere else, you just can't respond. And
he stayed out and Number's come in. So Number might have seen that Unite got ahead of Fnatic, and maybe even that Gabor got ahead. But where are they? Well, they're only at the final corner. Number's out in so much clear air. That wasn't really necessary, but maybe he was just doing it to cover Gabor and Unite. But it's worked, and there's a big gap there now. So Rex leads, but he may lose a position if he doesn't come in soon, because Unite has pace. We're not saying Rex doesn't have pace, but Unite has slightly more pace at this stage of the race, and Rex may lose the place through Unite doing an undercut. So we don't want to see that. We want to see battles on the track. So please, if you would, go into the pit lane, Rex.
You are right, but I have a funny observation. The fastest lap of Rex is actually faster than the fastest lap of Unite, so I think he might have some good pace after all.
Well, I didn't say he didn't have good pace, but Unite's pace at the moment is quicker. So let's see, can Rex do the right thing? I don't know. Maybe Unite will make a few errors, but Rex, he's confident, he's staying out, so fair enough, I'll leave him to it. He leads a lap of race 2. Happy D will come across the line in second place with 3 laps to go. Rodolfo there in P3 now, but all these guys still need to make a pit stop. Still to stop are Rex, Happy D, Rodolfo, Doctor, Bortz, Ayub, Pig, and Pedrobian.
Just to be clear, Rex gained 4/10 of a second on the last lap over Unite, so even at this point he seems to be having advantage, so I think he doesn't have to rush the pit stop.
Fair enough, I will take that under advisement. Let's see. I always love this stage of the race where you just don't know, really. No one really knows what's going to happen. What we do know has happened is that Fnatic's been in the pits and comes out behind Isaac. Quite close, half a second. So potentially a fight there towards the end. Though I think Isaac will check out simply. But yeah, Gabor could be on for P2 here then. Because surely the gap's big enough now to jump Rex. Just 10 seconds between Rex.
Rex is in
he's in the
lane.
pits. Okay,
yeah.
Here we go. So this is the fight for P2 or P3. Happy D goes through, but still yet to pit. Let's see, where is Gabor? Yep, Gabor will be out ahead, but where is Unite? I wonder. There is Rex, and Unite is quite a way behind. So, yeah, fair play to Rex. P3 currently.
Yeah, and also another car into the pits was Buffed, who's now rejoining in P14, P15, and should be P16 as I speak. So
yeah.
not a very good race for him.
No, could have been better. Didn't have a particularly good end to race 1 either. So yeah, an evening to maybe forget results-wise, but I hope he still enjoyed himself. It can still be enjoyable. Rodolfo will be next to pit and will have to do so on this lap. So we'll see another flurry of activity. Happy D will be in, Rodolfo will be in, and so too will Doctor. And we'll see where they resume, and maybe there'll be a fight there towards the end. McElroy and TJ side by side. McElroy in black, TJ in the Oracle Red Bull Racing livery, and McElroy, well, there's P14 for now, as Happy D comes into the pit lane. So too does Rodolfo. Number retakes the lead of the race and is on to the final lap. Then it's Gabor with the fastest lap, and Rex doing a fantastic job. Doesn't have Fnatic to worry about now after he got that drive through, and lucky still, Unite has traffic to get through before he even can consider an overtake.
Yeah, Unite has to settle down for P4 as there's a big gap to Rex in P3 and another back marker in between them. So considering we are on the very last lap, there's pretty much no opportunity to catch and overtake. So for this time being, he will be outside of the podium ceremony.
For the final time this evening, we will watch a winner come across the line. Michael, take it away.
Yeah, and unless something explicitly terrible happens, the guy we are watching right now, Number, who did everything right in this second race, should win this fantastic Fragmaster Fox Friday round 41. And he's just a few hundred meters away from crossing the finish line, and he wins in spectacular fashion, leaving everyone else in dust. And speaking of the dust, Gabor finishes second, Good Drivers Rex in P3, and Gabor, as I said before, Unite finishes in P4. There was some close battle in between, I believe it was, I don't even know who it was, so I will just keep going. Rogichan in P5, Happy D in P6, Dr. 7th, Rodolfo 8th, Zesty 9th, Isaac Price finishes in top 10. not a very good race for him, I believe. Fnatic in P11, Stracher 12th, DJ 13, Mugriro in P14, Ayub ends up the top 15, and then it's first Tatter and Buffed in P16 and 17. And I believe there are still some cars on the track yet to finish the race.
Yeah, we should have just a couple more coming across the line, and then we should be able to call the order. Yeah, just one more car, I think, and it's just coming out the final corner now. There we go. Across the line for Finn UK, and I believe that was Pedro BR or Kig, one of those two. Anyway, that's everybody, and we can now do the full order, the results of race number 2. So, taking the lead in stunning fashion was Number, who qualified around the top after an average performance in race number 1. 32 minutes 42.98. Gabor takes P2 ahead of Good Drivers Rex, who had P2 for quite a while, but Gabor just had the pace in the end. But yeah, a podium nonetheless for the Good Drivers team. Then it's Unite, not quite able to sneak onto the podium this time around, with Roger Chen, Happy D, Dr. Rodolfo Zesti, and Isaac Price in the top 10. Then we've got Fnatic, Strutter, TJ Magrio, Abel Hanouni, Firestarter, Bortz, Finn UK, Pedro BR, your finishers. Kig was the first driver with a penalty, actually. That's why he finished slightly lower down, but did finish nonetheless. He got a 30-second time penalty, assumedly for pit stop related incidents or a jump start or something. Then it's Al Payson in P21, the last of our finishers, registering 1 lap down there. And then the list of DNFs, unfortunately, Josep was unable to finish this one as well, Michael. Oh dear. And then it's Johnny SVK, Christian, Lallaroo, Adal, Rocket, Pantheo, Martins, Kirku, Rick98, Yoni Casilla crashing out early, and Lucas, the DNFs. Gabor snatched the fastest lap in the end at 1:14.19, and that is all she wrote for round 41 of Fragmaster's Fox Friday for 2023. Michael, this has been a fun one, as we've got a Fragmaster car weaving their way around on the start-finish line.
Yeah, this was absolutely a textbook drive from Number, who's now somewhat sleeping in the grass.
Yeah, there he is.
So that's a very different way to celebrate the victory, but each to their own. Anyway, it was a fantastic drive from him, and he rightfully denied Gabor from winning the race too. Rex had to come in P3 and deny Unite from even coming to the podium. I think he lost a lot of time in the early laps with some soft crashes and a lot of battling. So yeah, that's what happened when a top 15 is reversed for a race 2.
Yeah, a reversed race 2 is always entertaining. It's better than having a full grid reversed. Having the top X drivers flipped is always something to watch. And that is all she wrote for Fern Bay Gold. That is round 41 wrapped. You can join us again on the channel for round 45 on Friday the 10th of November next month, where we will be waiting for you here to join us for more Fox Friday action in Live for Speed. Remember though that the championship runs every single week, and you should absolutely grab your wheel, grab your mouse, grab whatever it is you use to drive, and join this grid, because it is epic. You're going to learn a load of skills, you're going to meet a bunch of new people, and you're going to have a good time. You're going to be featured on our broadcast as well, which you can show all your friends afterwards. So please, come and drive in Fox Friday in Live for Speed. Michael, any closing thoughts?
My closing thought is that it was another fantastic Fox Friday event held by Fragmaster, and I am looking forward to another month for another, I think the doubleheader sort of running seems to be doing very well in terms of broadcast section, so I think we should stick to this. What do you think?
Well, I have a mixed opinion on that, actually. I really enjoy the kind of longer strategic thought of the long races. That's the way Fragmaster's Fox Friday has always been. It's always been a longer race that's been, just over a tank of fuel, so that you have to think about fuel strategy. You have to sometimes think about tyre strategy as well. So throwing us a few more of those towards the end of the year would be cool, but I have to say, Michael, I agree that the 2-race format is something fresh. It creates, 2 sets of action for us to enjoy in one evening. So, yeah, I'm going to be on the fence with it, but nonetheless, having these 2 formats to choose from is pretty cool because they both work. They both have their own unique charm. In terms of action, I probably have to agree with you. Race 2 is where it's at, and you cannot beat a bit of reverse grid action. It's just as simple as that. I know that was a very non-conclusive, non-definite answer from me there. Very evasive, but there you are. That's my thoughts.
Yeah, it's been a long time since we've seen Gabor finishing the race with a flat tire, so we need to see it again at some point. I agree.
One more before the end of the year would be good, I think. So we'll have words. We'll see what the plan of the Fragmaster team is, but obviously they don't have to change the broadcast schedule for us. It's their show. We just broadcast it for them. Whatever they want is fine by us. So keep doing what you're doing, and we'll see you at the next one for round 45. Thanks again, Michael, for your company. Really appreciate it. We had Chris McElroy in the background as well, helping us out with all the action calls, so we appreciate his help too. And of course, we appreciate all of you for watching. As ever, from all of us here at Sim Broadcast, we wish you a very good evening. Thanks to the Fragmaster team. Congrats to Number and Yoni. This was an epic event. We'll see you at the next one, hopefully. Good night.
Good night.